So here's a puzzle for you. How can a company post its best quarter ever and then watch its stock price just completely fall off a cliff? Well, that's exactly what happened to tech giant Qualcomm. And the reason why is this incredible story about a hidden battle for resources, all kicked off by the absolute explosion in AI.
Okay, picture this. It's February 4th, 2026. Qualcomm announces a monster quarter. I mean, by all accounts, the champagne corks should be flying, but instead, investors panicked. So why? Well, to get it, you have to follow this invisible thread that connects the phone in your hand to these massive, power-guzzling data centers that are fueling the AI revolution.
And to really understand the shock, you first have to appreciate just how good the good news really was. I mean, on paper, Qualcomm's first quarter of 2026 was an absolute home run. Look, Wall Street had some pretty high hopes, and Qualcomm just blew right past them. They beat the estimates for both earnings per share and for revenue. From the outside, this looked like a company that was just firing on all cylinders, a total win. In fact, that revenue number, a whopping $12.3 billion, wasn't just a win, it was a record for their first quarter. So with a performance this strong, why on earth did the market run for the hills? Well, here's the twist. The market wasn't reacting to the past quarter, it was reacting to a warning about the next quarter. The fear wasn't in the numbers they just posted, but in the ones they said were coming. And that one warning, it was enough to wipe out nearly 8.5% of the company's value in a single day. The alarm bells weren't just ringing, they were screaming. And they were coming from the very heart of Qualcomm's empire, smartphone chips. You see, during that record-breaking quarter, their main business, the handset division, brought in a massive $7.8 billion. Another record, all thanks to new flagship phone launches. But then, they dropped the bomb. The forecast for that same business in the next quarter, all the way down to around $6 billion. That's a potential $2 billion drop from one quarter to the next. That is a huge red flag. And the big question, of course, is why? The answer came straight from the CEO, Cristiano Amon, and he was crystal clear. He said the problem was, and I quote, 100% related to memory. Basically, the memory chips needed for phones, the stuff called DRAM, was suddenly getting hard to find. And why? Because the factories that make it were busy switching over to a different, more profitable kind of memory, the kind needed for AI data centers. So let's connect these dots, right? How does a huge boom in AI data centers end up causing a massive headache for the entire smartphone industry? This, my friends, is the AI ripple effect in action. It all comes down to two kinds of memory. You've got your standard DRAM, that's the workhorse memory that's in pretty much every phone and PC, and then you've got HBM, or high bandwidth memory. This is the super fast, premium stuff that's absolutely vital for AI servers. Now here's the kicker. They're both made in the same factories. And that one fact set off this crazy chain reaction. First, the AI gold rush creates this insatiable demand for HBM. So, step two, the memory makers, who aren't dumb, chase the bigger profits and shift production away from regular DRAM. 3. This creates a sudden shortage of DRAM for phones. And the final domino. The phone makers who can't get enough memory have no choice but to cut back their orders for other components, like chips from Qualcomm. You know, think of it like this. Imagine a factory that makes both regular family cars and, super high-tech Formula One race cars. Suddenly, there's this huge, unexpected global demand for the F1 cars. So the factory converts all its assembly lines to build them, because that's where the money is. But in doing that, they accidentally create a worldwide shortage of normal family cars. That's exactly what's happening here. So this whole memory crunch thing, it really exposed a big weak spot in Qualcomm's main business. But it also proved why their long-term strategy to diversify and not just be the phone chip company is so incredibly important. And when you look at the breakdown, you see it's really happening. Yeah, handsets are still the lion's share, about 74%, but their other bets are becoming serious business. Automotive is now 10% of the pie, and IoT, the Internet of Things, is another 16%. These aren't just little side projects anymore. They're becoming major pillars for the company. Their automotive business, in particular, is a real bright spot. It hit a record $1.1 billion in revenue, which is a solid 15% jump from the year before. This is that Snapdragon digital chassis stuff you keep hearing about. It's the tech that's powering the screens and the connectivity in all the new cars.
And get this, that growth is speeding up. While the phone business is facing these headwinds, Qualcomm is forecasting that its car business is going to grow by more than 35% year over year in the next quarter. That's diversification in action, right? It's a powerful cushion when one part of your business gets hit with a shock. So what's the big picture here? What is the one key thing to take away from Qualcomm's really strange up and down quarter? It's this: the AI revolution is so huge, its gravitational pull is literally bending and warping the supply chains of other major industries. We're seeing in real time that a boom in one area, AI data centers, can directly cause a bust in another, like smartphones. It just goes to show how deeply interconnected the whole tech world is. And it means that for companies like Qualcomm, having strong businesses in lots of different areas isn't just a good idea anymore, it's a survival strategy.
What happened to Qualcomm? It's really a warning shot for the entire tech industry. And it leaves us with this one critical question. As the AI boom just keeps accelerating, consuming more and more resources, from chips to power to everything else, who or what is going to be the next to feel its powerful and totally unexpected ripple effect?